Hey mamas, today we are talking all about what I did to increase my milk supply.
I don't wanna go and waste another day, mess it up again.
This is a very realistic look at how I increased my milk supply. I am not someone who has a freezer stash. I don't have a freezer full of milk. The best thing my lactation consultant ever told me is feed the baby, not the freezer. Every journey is different. With my son, I had overflow, and with my last two, it's been either just a little below or just enough. So these are just my personal things that worked for me personally, but always reach out to your doctor, lactation consultant first. I definitely highly believe in having a good lactation consultant, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So with my son, I didn't really stress about it. I had plenty of milk. I actually had an oversupply, and he was such a good nurser, and he went back and forth from nursing. Sometimes we did bottles. I just didn't stress it. If I pumped until the bottles were full. It's just so crazy to think back about that. Anyway, I nursed him until 15 months. So I had an amazing experience my first time around. I remember the first 3 weeks though. I truly think that the first 3 weeks are, if you can get through that, you can get through anything, because that's where you're in like pain and you're just you're still learning and how often should I be feeding him and everything like that. And so, those first 3 weeks we kind of just pushed through. And after that, it was just so convenient and so nice. And so fast forward 12 years later, I knew that I wanted to nurse again. I just love the bond. And honestly, I believe fed is best. I have nothing against formula, but I just love the bond of breastfeeding and nursing your baby. So with my second baby, we started off pretty good. I thought things were going well, and we supplemented right away in the hospital because she had low blood sugar. And I did not realize that whenever you're giving a baby a bottle, you should always pump so that you're not replacing a feeding with a bottle. And so right away, I was letting her sleep as long as she wanted. She was sleeping 4 to 5 hour stretches, and I was giving her bottles and not knowing I should replace that with a pumping session. And so that kind of signaled to my body that I didn't need as much milk. But looking back, I wish I would have known a little bit more about the fact that I could actually increase my milk supply. I just thought whatever you get is what you get, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I nursed her off and on for 4 to 6 months, and then after that, we just moved on to formula. And now we are at baby number 3, Indy. She is now 9 months old, and when I had her, I knew that I already had a lot of the stress of having low milk supply and not being able to nurse my previous baby well. And so I kind of went into it knowing that. And now I'm going to share with you the things that I did that helped this time around and the things that I wish I knew. I will say the first 2 months, I only produced about 8 ounces a day. And I also was nursing a lot, nursing on demand, and then on top of that, 8 ounces a day, but we were still supplementing as well. So the number one thing I did that helped with this is I actually made an appointment with a lactation consultant. I wish I would have done this right away, but it takes time also to find one that you really like. I actually went through 3 or 4 lactation consultants, maybe 5, until I found one that I absolutely loved. And the one that I have now is actually virtual, so you can talk to her virtually. And finding a good lactation consultant is everything. And you think that it can't be that hard. You put your baby on the boob and the baby eats. Like it really shouldn't be that complicated, but find a good lactation consultant. What they can do is they can assess the latch, which I didn't even know was a thing. They can look at the latch. They can help do a weighted feed. They are just an amazing resource, and I definitely highly believe in them. So number one, get a good lactation consultant. If you can get in person, even better, but a lot of them are doing virtual appointments now. And I have to look at my phone so I remember my list. The number 2 thing I did to increase my milk supply, so after I went to see a lactation consultant, she suggested we do a ton of skin to skin. So when you do skin to skin with your baby, it actually releases oxytocin, and oxytocin is responsible for your milk letdown. Did you know that? I have learned so much through this process, and I'm glad I get to share that with you guys. But so your oxytocin is what produces, what causes your milk to let down, and it helps with your baby feeding, or if you're pumping, it helps with that as well. So skin to skin is the number one contributor to just like releasing a ton of those hormones. And she said, just like take a vacation with your baby, take a weekend and just do tons of skin to skin, nurse as often as you want. The next thing is to nurse on demand. So if you're nursing, nurse on demand. With my son, I thought, oh, you have to nurse every 2 hours. If they're crying before then, I have to let them wait every 2 hours. I don't want them to get used to it. Like I just kept hearing every 2 hours, nurse every 2 to 3 hours. And people say that, but honestly, what it really looks like is just nurse as often as they want. And Why that's a good thing is it's just telling your body again and again that it needs to produce more milk. And when your baby is small and when you're in the first 12 weeks, your milk is still regulating. So every time you nurse your baby, it's signaling your body to make more milk. And so you can't go wrong with just nursing as often as the baby wants. So for me, we actually really struggled with nursing. I still nurse her a little bit here and there, but definitely even though we got her lip and tongue tie revised, she still just really struggled with her sucking techniques. And so it made it hard for her to be able to empty me. And so we have actually done, I would say, probably 75% pumping, 25% nursing. And I'm just have learned to be okay with it. It took a long time to get there. And so we figured out a solution that worked best for us. And that's another thing of increasing your milk supply, because I feel like when you're obsessing over it, then it's not helping. And if you can just find a good balance. So for us, it was nursing her if she wants to nurse in the morning or at night. And then the rest of the time, right now, I just pump. If you are exclusively pumping, you want to pump every 2 to 3 hours during the day and with like a 5-hour stretch at night. They say no more than 5-hour stretch at night. For me, I definitely go over that sometimes. Sleep is important, and so you have to choose what's more important to you. Is it more important to get a couple more ounces for the day? Is it more important to have a proper sleep so that you can function the next day? For me, I noticed a huge difference when I went from pumping 6 times a day to pumping 8 times a day. Now I say huge, but I don't have an oversupply this time around. I have always said I have a low supply, but when I went to see a neurologist for Indy as part of the process of trying to figure out why she wasn't eating effectively, she said, your body is making exactly what you need for your baby. And it made me cry. It made me tear up because I had just been so stressed and so hard on myself, and why is my body just not doing what it's supposed to do for this baby? And when she told me your body is making exactly what your baby needs, it really just kind of took that burden off of me. And I just knew, okay, whatever I pump is great, and if we have to supplement a bottle during the day or two, it's okay. So when I look back though, I actually journaled, and I'm so glad that I did from the beginning. And I would write down, now I use an app, but I would write down how much I had pumped throughout the day. And it's crazy to look back to see, at first I was only doing like 6 to 8 ounces a day on top of her nursing, like I said. And then within a few months of just consistently doing these things that I'm telling you guys about, it went from 6 to 8 to 8 to 10, then from 10 to 12. And at the most, during the time I was pumping a lot more, to an average of about 15 to 17 ounces a day. And at that time, she was taking about 18 to 22. So some days I had enough and some days we supplemented. Now that she's 9 months old, she's on solids 3 times a day. She takes about 3 to 4 bottles a day. We do 3 4-ounce breast milk bottles and 1 formula bottle. And I was really, really, really focused on helping my milk supply and pumping often and doing all the things up until about a month ago. And now I've decided that I, again, need more rest, need more breaks. And so I pump now every 3 hours, and I do about a 6-hour stretch at night. And I have enough that gives her 3 bottles a day of pump milk and 1 bottle a day of formula. Proper phalange size is everything. So if you're exclusively pumping, I did not realize this, and it probably affected my milk a lot. In the beginning, I was using way too big of a phalange size, and I was in a lot of pain constantly. I was getting a lot of clogged ducts, just having a ton of issues, not realizing that was why. I had a lactation consultant that fit me in the hospital, actually 2 of them, and they told me the totally wrong size. And so if you can find someone who knows what they're doing, a lot of lactation consultants, from what my experience, weren't actually real experience in sizing. So I found one who knows what she's doing, and she helped me get the right phalange size. And I didn't figure that out until about 3 months postpartum, and that's when I saw my milk increase from like 6 to 8 ounces a day to like 10 to 14 ounces a day. And for me, that was a lot. The next thing I did to increase my milk supply is when I pump or when I nursed. Usually not when I nursed as often, but when I pumped, I used these are the Lavi warming and vibrating massagers. You put them right like around when you're pumping or nursing, and heat actually helps your milk flow better, and vibration actually helps your letdown. So I am obsessed with these. Now, if you don't want to go out and spend the money on these because they're a little bit pricey, then you can get warming pads on Amazon. They're like $15, and they worked fine for me. You just pop them in the microwave for like 30 seconds, put them on. You can wear them around your pump when you're pumping, or you can have them above when you're nursing. Either or, it helps your milk supply or helps your milk flow even more. The next thing I'm going to talk about are the supplements. Now, supplements are very personal. For me, it was a lot of trial and error, and what I've learned is there's a lot of companies out there with really great marketing. When you're desperate, you're willing to do anything and you want to try anything that's going to help. And I think for me, the biggest thing that helped with increasing supply, and still always does if I want a little boost in my milk, is just to add in more pump sessions or add in more nursing sessions if your baby's nursing effectively. If your baby's nursing effectively, you might not need to really pump at all. Your baby is just fine. The first one is sunflower lecithin. This helps improve your milk flow. The next one I use is Milkapalooza, and this one is one of my favorites. These are both from Legendary Milk, and this one enhances nutrition in the milk. It helps your breast milk production, and it helps with the flow as well. So I take those, and then my other favorite one that I feel like makes the biggest difference when I use it is this one. This one is called Lactavis, and I like herbal tinctures. I like liquid, and this one you just do 3 to 4 droppers a day. And I find with any of the supplements, I feel like I noticed the biggest increase with this. The next thing I did to increase my milk supply is drink water. Okay, so I'm like, these are very basic things, but it really does make a difference. On the days that I'm more dehydrated, I see that my milk supply goes a little bit down. And the days that I'm really focused on drinking more water, I see it go up. So drink water. Also, when I eat oatmeal, I love oatmeal. I love starting my day with a bowl of oatmeal, and oatmeal helps with it as well. The next thing is brewer's yeast and barley and hops. Those are 3 ingredients that I have found that I see a little boost. If I have a milk stout, like a beer, like one beer at night that's like a milk stout that has barley in it, I notice a little increase. If I have a smoothie and I add some brewer's yeast in it, I'll notice like a little bit of an increase. And also like anything with oatmeal, I notice an increase as well. So I will say in the first 6 to 8 months, I spent so much time still researching, doing all the things, and I did see a difference for sure. And I'm glad that I did, because I wouldn't be here to be able to share with you guys what worked for me if I hadn't done that. But now I feel like I'm in such a good place of being more relaxed and more laid back, and I'm okay if my milk supply is not the highest it can be. I'm okay with giving her 3 bottles a day of pump milk and 1 of formula, and I feel really great about where I'm at. So right now I'm not in the mode as much anymore of like, whatever I can do, I have to pump all day, every 2 to 3 hours, all night. Like, I am taking a little bit longer of a stretch at night of 6 hours. I'm pumping every 3 hours during the day, and my milk supply decreased by a couple of ounces. But for me, it's like, it's okay. It is okay, because this is what's going to get me to my goal of a year. If I was still trying to push and do every 2 hours during the day, every 4 hours at night, I definitely would have burned out, and I started to burn out. There was many months I was burnt out. I just wanted to be done with it all. And I learned, for me, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to go from like pumping to just quitting. Just do it a little less and see how that feels to you. You know, just instead of every 2 hours, try every 3 hours and see how that feels. And for me, it's manageable and I can do it. And then the next month, I'll probably go from every 3 hours to every 4 hours, and I'll just keep stretching it out until I get to a year so that I can get to my goal. One thing that goes into play a lot with your milk production is your hormones. And if your hormones are not right, if your thyroid's not right, it can affect your milk supply. And I had no idea. You can try all the supplements in the world. You can be pumping as much as you can. You can be nursing as much as you can. And it just is not going to do anything if your hormones are still out of balance. So for me, I made an appointment with a naturopath. We had all my blood labs drawn and did a ton of different tests for blood work, and to try to find out exactly maybe what was the root cause of this. And for me, my hormones were definitely out of balance. My thyroid was out of balance, and she put me on some supplements that would help with that. And I definitely feel like I noticed a difference with that as well. And then the last thing I did to increase my milk supply is I stopped obsessing about my milk supply. Easier said than done, especially when we have apps that track everything, and I like to see the increase, like, oh my gosh, I've like worked so hard at this and look at the difference it's making. But I kind of, in the last, like when Indy turned 9 months and she was doing solids more often, I stopped obsessing so much about it. I stopped being so hard on myself if I wasn't able to pump every 2 hours and I could only do every 3 hours. I just took a realistic view at it. And with exclusively pumping, like, you just feel like all you do is pump, and you're missing out on things and you have a lot of guilt and but you just have to remind yourself of your why and why you're doing it. And for me, it's important to be able to provide for my baby, and it makes me feel like, you know, if I'm not able to nurse her, this is like the next best thing I can do for her. I hope you guys found these tips helpful. I really have a huge passion in all of these things that I never thought would happen to me, but just after learning so much with my son and with my 2 daughters, you know, I want to be able to help others because I know it can cause so much stress, especially as a new mom. And I, again, want to say it's much easier said than done, but try not to stress too much. Your body is doing exactly what it's supposed to. You know, as a mom, there's so many things that we're already stressed about, and this is like a whole nother level of adding to it. And you are enough. Your body is enough. Your baby is okay. A happy baby, happy mama is all the difference in the world. And just know that no matter what, fed is best. And your mental health matters, your happiness matters, and you know, you just have to find a good balance in what works for you. So I hope you found these tips helpful. Let me know if you tried any and they worked well for you, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next video, and I will chat with you soon. Bye-bye.
I've been waiting all my life for something. I've been down the darkest roads and I've